Everyone, how you doing? Hopefully the microphone's working alright here. I haven't streamed in quite a long time, so yeah, how you all going? Welcome to the stream. I'm just going to do a little bit of a Q&A today, and talk about what happened with the 90. Feel free to ask me any questions. We'll fire away with it. So I'll just wait for a few more people to roll up. We'll go from there. So, if you're in the chat, say hi, and we'll go from there. So, we'll just chill out and wait for a little bit. So, unfortunately, the old girl's no longer. So, not my fault either, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So, hope everyone's having a good afternoon. Me, I'm just sitting here in my sling. So, broken shoulder at the moment. I've got to wear this for like 6 weeks. It's great fun. It's my dominant right arm, so I can't really do much. So, it's just a struggle to get this set up, that's all. But it's not a worry. So, Tyson, how you doing, mate? Man, I'll tell you all about that pain. Don't you worry. There's a lot of that happening for sure. So, and welcome to the stream, Tyson. Good to have you here. All right. So we've got a few here. So I guess I'll get started. So what happened was I was doing a 4-week trip in the Victorian high country. I was going to film it all for YouTube. Left my job to go and do it. Figured, this would be a good opportunity to go out there and do something, and give you guys a heap of content. I was looking forward to it. So, met a dude called Brett on the Victorian High Country 4 Drivers Facebook group, actually. So, I stayed on his property for a couple of nights. We went out on a Sunday. Did a trip out there. I will have some content for that once I can use my arm again. So there will be a little bit of content. I recorded it incorrectly though, so it's in a pretty bad aspect ratio, but we'll try and work something out with it. So, hey Mike, how you doing, bud? Cheers for getting my gear back and getting me out of that ravine, man. So everyone, Michael here, he was on the scene when I went over. So, it was pretty stressful, but we'll get to that in a sec anyway. So I stayed on Brett's property for a couple of nights, and then on the Monday morning we decided, we'll go out, fuel up in Mansfield, and we'll head up Buller Road, up to the Halcor Hills track, which is just like it's been just recently graded, so it's nice and smooth. It's not like a main 4-wheel drive track or anything. So driving along up there, checked out one of the sheds up there, or one of the huts, and that was all good. On to the next one, and that's when trouble struck. So just past Tunnel Bend Campground, I think it was, from memory. I know my HEMA was filming for 55. Oh, for my HEMA was recording for 55 hours. So that's how long it took to get my gear out. There was a blind corner. It was a right hand. I was doing about 30. And I had 2 oncoming cars. One I think was either an 80 series or a GU Patrol, dark in colour. If you guys have been on my Facebook page, you would have seen my post on it. So that was the first car come past. And the tail car was a white GU Patrol ute with a black tray and like a quarter toolbox on the back. And he was in the middle of the road just as I was exiting. So I took evasive action. I only moved probably maybe 5 inches or so to the left, and as I come out of the corner I hit the soft ground and the ground collapsed underneath me, and I rolled down a ravine 6 times and come to a stop, pretty much laying in the passenger seat, and couldn't move my shoulder at all. So lucky to be alive. Had this little fella here with me. So this is the Garmin InReach Mini, which did jack shit. I hit the SOS button on this, and no signal, no nothing. While I did that, my GoPro happened to be next to me, so I hit record on that just to explain what happened. just for a little bit of a video log. From there, Brett, who I know is watching, and I know he's out hunting at the moment, he decided to, he radioed me, couldn't get me. Come back, saw a puff of smoke, because I had to kill the engine with a dislocated shoulder as it was still revving up pretty badly. So I didn't want to burn alive in the wreck, so I reached up and turned it off, and he called out for me, and I said, "Yep, I'm all right. Can't move my shoulder." He's like, "I'll go back and get some help." So he went back down the road and grabbed Michael here, and then Justin, and I can't remember the other guy's name. Slips my mind, mate. Sorry. But yeah, those guys there, brought them back, and Brett come down. The first thing I said to him was, make sure the car's stable and secure. So I'm not climbing out of nothing or undoing seatbelts if this car's going to be moving. So, yeah, checked it. It's all good. Managed to unclip my seatbelt and had to come out the passenger side window, which was facing down. So it was driver's side up. I was half on the passenger side, still strapped into my seatbelt. So I unclipped it with my left hand, got out, and we just got dragged up the hill to the road. Yeah, from there I went white, apparently. Someone, can't remember, Mike, I think it was, actually, chucked a sling on me out of his first aid kit, and then, yeah, hopped in Brett's car and drove me to the hospital. I think it was about half an hour after getting out of the area where I got phone reception that the SOS signal went through, and search and rescue were called to my emergency contact, and by that time we were on our way to hospital, so it was pretty full on. Yeah, lucky to get out of that one alive, guys. Another 40 metres, it would have been in the river, and I don't know how deep it was. So, yeah, from there, Mansfield Hospital, dislocated shoulder. So I thought it can't be that bad, it's just dislocated. But cut the clothes off me because I couldn't move my arm, and my pain scale was on about an 8 to a 10 out of 10. So yeah, they dosed me up on fentanyl and endone, and nothing was working. So then the last port of call was some ketamine. That was pretty wild. That was a wild ride. Don't suggest you go doing that as a recreational drug. But yeah, from there it was they couldn't do anything for me after a few x-rays. The dislocation I had, they'd only ever seen one other time in their life. So I got transferred to Wangaratta Hospital. So that was on the Monday. 11 o'clock it happened. I think I was at Wangaratta Hospital by about 1:30 maybe. Then I had to wait for a switch in Benalla for ambulances because it was outside the area. More drugs up to the hospital. They tried to reset my, what they call a reduction with the dislocation. That didn't work. That was the first time. Second time they actually put me out to it under a general anaesthetic. They got it a bit better, but it was still no good. And then I think it was the Friday I had operation, so I was dislocated pretty well for almost a week. Yeah, after that, I was in for surgery, so I've got a big cut. It's about, where am I? About that long. Down here, open surgery. I've got two 40 mil screws in there, some wire. They've had to move a tendon over and tie it off to my biceps tendon to give me shoulder stability again. And yeah, it's about, they say 4 weeks in the sling. I've got another week to go before I can start doing any exercises. And then after that, so those exercises are just like a passive, well, not only a passive, like a pendular range of motion. So I just got to use gravity only just to get a little bit of movement in there. Then 2 weeks after that, it'll be I move my arm myself to try and get a bit more movement in it. And then after 6 weeks, it's off to physio to try and get my full range of motion back. So yeah, it's not fun, really, not at all. That's where I'm at the moment. Regarding the 90, not one panel straight. I'm not going to release any images until insurance is through, just for my peace of mind. But yeah, I had to go and grab all my gear out of it. That was on, what was that? Last week? This week on Tuesday. Had to go do that just before the border shut for COVID. So, and lucky I wasn't in a hotspot, which is good. So yeah, they pulled it out Monday out of the ravine. Took a heavy tow truck and another truck to get it out. They said it was pretty easy recovery, but there was just shit everywhere. The rear springs ended up down in the ravine, like down by the river. That's how much of an impact it was. Yeah, someone stole my swag as well, swag and stretcher. Though the stretcher's not going to do much good because I had the tensioning poles and the bag still in the car, so I sucked into you guys. Bad luck, hey? Try again with someone else's car. Yeah, I got all my electronics back. My drone still flies, my cameras still work, my GoPro still work, my laptop still works. My phone still works, my tablet still works, it's got my HEMA maps on it, so yeah, everything's working, so that's not a problem. So, but yeah, the car wasn't even worth me buying back. As you can see in the pictures here, that's how straight it was, and it's not one panel straight. I'll tell you now, the right hand side of that bull bar is laying up over that headlight and against the bonnet. So yeah, that's pretty full on there. But if you've got any questions, guys, feel free to ask. So not a problem. Seems me rambling on here. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Don't know what I'm going to buy next. Won't be another 90 series, though. They're just getting too hard for parts these days, and there's not a lot of aftermarket support for them. So, yeah, there you go. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, it's just a long road to recovery now, really. And yeah, it's pretty sore, pretty uncomfortable trying to sleep at the moment. I'm not sleeping very well. So if I look tired, that's why. So yeah, how's everyone else's day been? Been doing much? Anyone been out to tracks this weekend? Feel free to chat, let me know. Where you been? What's been happening? Where you drive? All that fun stuff. Let's get everyone involved. And yeah. That's about it, really, for update-wise. Regarding the channel, get a reg off to HEMA. No, HEMA doesn't record. It just records the maps, not the. It's not like a dash cam. So, cops do have a rego though. I did come across some information, and I did pass that on. Whether they get themselves into gear and pin this guy, I don't know. I hope so, but I don't think I'll ever hear about it. But yeah, you know, I mean, that was like a 2.5 year build to get this thing to flex, as you see, flex like it is for an IFS vehicle. 2.5 years to build, 10 seconds to destroy. So, yeah, Mike, you'll find this pretty funny. I was going through my Hero 9 footage, and the cops must have hit record in the cop shop. And it was like a 5-second clip with like my name on the board, all my belongings, Brett's name, your name, and all mobile numbers. I'm like, wow, okay. So that was an interesting one to see there on the board from the cop shop. It's like a big, whole investigation, which it should be. Yeah, man, like almost died. Yeah, what else? So yeah, regarding the future of the channel, well, I don't have a rig at the moment, so I've got a few bits and pieces there. It's going to take me a bit of time to get out, being that I'm technically left-handed at the moment, and I'm usually right-handed, so yeah, got a little bit of footage there. So I've got the Sunday footage from when I went out. That's pretty good fun. Interesting. What else did I have? Probably get a few bits and pieces from other trips and stuff around the place. Why is it retracting your messages? What's going on here? No. Unless you took your message off, that's fine. No worries, Tyson. All good, man. Yeah. So, vehicle-wise, what do you guys reckon I should go for next? Has to be a Toyota, though. So, I'm leaning more towards an 80 series. If I can get a factory turbo diesel one for a reasonable price. But I don't want to be building something again from scratch like I have done. Because that 90 series was a full resto, more or less. Did all the bushes, steering rack, everything. What drone do I use to film? I use a Mavic Pro. Just the first gen one. And yeah, it works pretty well. Pulls some decent footage. So, surprising that survived the rollover. That was thrown out the window. Man, fucking FTE, dude, they're so expensive. There's a guy in Adelaide building an 80 series with an FTE conversion here, and he wants 38.5, and I don't have that much. So, pretty much I'm going to have about 20 to play with. Maybe a little bit more. We'll see how we go. So, insurance is paying out, but I've got to spend a bit more extra on the excess because my fridge is all twisted after the rollover. Obviously, I had stuff stolen, so I've got to claim that back as well. My chainsaw is damaged, so I've got to spend an extra $500, but it'll cover me for an extra $2,000, just to replace those items that I don't have now. But yeah, we'll see. You know what I mean? Like, if someone's got something else for 25, I might be able to talk them down. Depends how they feel. So, yeah, that's about it, really. Like I said, the sling sucks. So annoying. Yeah, you know what? I wish I had a dash cam that day, or I wish I was recording with the GoPro. Would have got maybe a license plate. Like, these two guys were like, you know, they were behind each other like this, and this dude was out here on the corner exit in his patrol. So it might have been hard to get a front plate. But yeah, someone kind of admitted they were in the area. As I said, not much I can do about it now. I'm covered by insurance at least. So guys, Club 4x4 have been good so far to deal with. If you want insurance that's going to cover your water crossings and all your accessories and everything, and they're tailored for a 4x4 company, then yeah, go for Club 4x4. They'll cover you. I'll tell you now, I was insured for $22,000 on that build. It's the most expensive V6 90 series you'll probably ever find. But you know, I'd done it up to how I wanted it. It was almost there. All was needed was a rear locker, and it would have been perfect. But unfortunately, no, never meant to be. That's my first serious accident I've ever been in my life. So doing that. All I want to do, mate, was get out there and make some content for you guys, and yeah, someone else ruined it for me and for all you guys. So I will get back out there, obviously, when I can use my arm again. I can do stuff, but yeah, obviously gotta get the car sorted. Pretty much, that's been my next thing. When I can drive again, because obviously I'm not allowed to drive for 6 weeks. Heard all bad things? No, they've been pretty good with me so far. They're just processing it now, so nothing illegal in the car. So video footage is there of how I had to run wide. So if they want video footage or whatever, I can give them that. So that's not a problem. If they don't pay up, then I'll be pissed. But you know, it wasn't my fault. I wasn't at fault. I wasn't doing anything stupid. I was on a main thoroughfare, man. Just a Halka Hills track. Which was a smooth road. It's not like it was a 4x4 track where I bounced off of a rock a rock step or something and rolled down a hill. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated anyway. The Lurker. What 4x4 options are you looking at? So I've been leaning towards an 80 series at the moment. I'm not a big fan of utes. just because I'm a wagon type of guy. Did see a nice 60 series pop up, but I don't know if I want to go leaf sprung rear. Otherwise, it's just not going to flex. I'd like to keep it all coils, but yeah, I'm not going to go for a ute, unfortunately. So yeah, an 80 or a 105 if I can find it. I'm happy to travel interstate if I can find one too. So yeah, as soon as the insurance payout's done, yeah, I'll get you guys on. Might put a call out. Hey, anyone know of any vehicles? Got any leads? Might post something up on Facebook or in the community tab on YouTube, and we'll go from there. Probably the best bet to do. What's everyone else driving at the moment? What do you drive, Lurker? What about you, Tyson? What do you drive, bud? Is the audio alright, guys? Like, it looks like it's good. Yeah, man. Definitely might see me out there one day. That's not a problem. So, I plan on a redemption tour. Actually get out there past freaking main track and actually out. As I said, the whole reason I went over is that I hadn't seen snow. Guess what? Still haven't seen snow. Never seen snow in my life. So, but yeah, to be like almost 1,000 k's from home, by yourself, don't know too many people. So yeah, pretty eye opening. Oh, you drove the 120, do you? I didn't even remember your car, hey. I remember you, I don't remember your car. You got a 90 series diesel? Nice. You're a GU coil cab, 4.2? Sweet. No worries. Yep, won't get me in a Nissan. Not after a Nissan ran me off the road. Definitely won't get me in a Nissan. But, no, each to their own, man. If the rig works for you, then sweet. I'm not going to hang shit on you for it. So the 90 series was a great car. But I was finding, even on that trip for 4 weeks, that it was very tight on space. If I removed the back seat, I might have got a little bit more out of it. But, yeah, I had a triple draw system in the back of it. And they were all full, and I had a tub in the back. And yeah, well, it was tight, and that's just with a swag and a stretcher. So, yeah, just to give you guys an idea, out of all the windows on the Prado, the only ones remaining were the right-hand rear, that quarter window, the right-hand rear door, and the left-hand rear door. All those windows were the only ones intact. Yeah, I think that, Mike, I reckon that was more the adrenaline starting to wear off, hey? Because I wasn't in pain until I got up top. That's when it all started to hit, and I was shaking the whole time. See, if I had my phone, which I did get my phone back, had a mate, get his couple of rock climbing mates out, so Gem and Lex on YouTube, if you guys want to go check them out, give them a follow for me, that'd be awesome. If it wasn't for those guys, I wouldn't have any of my electronics back. Someone probably would have raided that too. But yeah, Gem and Lex, they went and found my phone for me and my wallet and got everything out of the car that they could the following day. But yeah, man, that was a wild ride rolling down there. Everything just went into slow motion, and it was like, well, I can't do much. I'm rolling. I'll try and hold onto the steering wheel. I think what dislocated me was probably slamming my shoulder into the pillar. Not all Nissan drivers are fuckwits. I was only messing around, man. I know that. But yeah, it was a wild ride. Still remember it clearly. All I remember is like bam, 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 bam. I could count it about 6 or 7 times. So all I could do was count. Nothing else I could do. I was just flailing around in the cab. My seatbelt jammed, and it didn't retract, and I was in the passenger seat. So I didn't really have much of a seatbelt either. So, and the airbags didn't go off. But then it was a side roll, wasn't a front impact. So I didn't expect them to go off anyway. But yeah, well, roof rack's destroyed, bent like a banana. Awning bent. Wasn't even worth me getting my side lights and rear light off of it. No, I didn't see how high up the tree I hit. How high did I hit? Which tree are we talking about? This is news to me. Please tell. I'd be interested to know. Which tree are we talking about? Is it like the one that I landed on and stopped? Or is this like one where I'm going down the ravine? Be very interested to hear this one. There's a lot of things I don't know still, so obviously. A tree next to where the vehicle stopped. No, mate, didn't even see it. I seriously, I slipped out the smashed out passenger side window and went up the hill. Just sent a picture. The one going down. Who saved me? Well, if I think I know who you are, your dad saved me, mate. If it wasn't for your old man, I could have been down there for days. But that was Brett Ricardo. So your old man's a good bloke. You sent me a picture of the one going down. Where are you sending it? Facebook? I'll load her up, I'll have a look. Nope, nothing yet. Could be on my page. Hold on a minute. Getting there, guys. Getting there. Good to hear you, brother. Hey, mate. How you doing? Come around and visit me. I'm bored. There we go. Let's have a look. What you sent me, Mike? Holy fuck. Is that where it hit? Alright. See if I can get this over here. Give me a sec. We can separate that. Give me a sec, guys. I want to show you this. Wow. Okay. That's pretty epic, man. Give me a sec, guys. Operating left-handed here. Well, a window capture, don't I? That one. So, if I can zoom this in, which I will, give me a sec. So, holy shit, come on, move over. So I landed down here, I believe. Well, that's where I am. That's where I hit. Holy fuck. That's intense. That's nuts. I don't even remember hitting that. Wowzers. Bits and pieces everywhere. That's crazy. Holy shit. Alright, let's get back over here. Where are we? Where are we? Here and here. See it in Messenger. I don't like jumping on my phone when I'm streaming, but we'll have a look. How's the stream quality looking? It's looking alright. Camera. That's high, man. How far past the car was that? That's nuts. Where did you message me? I'm in my page now. It's not there. What's going on here? Sorry for the swearing. Do I have to check it after? I can't see it. I should see it. It's good. Oh, I know how to switch. Hold on a minute. Do it this way. Switching. There we go. Jeebus. I must have been bouncing, bro. I must have done a few cartwheels. So I don't remember every impact. I remember hearing it, but yeah, I don't remember every impact. So I must have freaking cartwheeled. Shit. That's no good. Very lucky. I know. Very, very lucky. Excuse me. I'll make sure I put that one up on the old Facebook, Instagram when I get around to it. 10 to 12 feet past that tree. So it must have been my last hit was there. Thing is, I was only doing about 30, hey. I wasn't going fast. Guess it picked up speed as it went down, cartwheeled, jumped up, spun a few times and stopped. Insane. Probably what did my shoulder, I reckon. That hit. But then that hit could have been the passenger side door too, I reckon. The parts of the car that took the most impact was the passenger side. The front A-pillar is pretty well squashed, about half the height of what it should be. So that's pretty intense. But yeah, that's about it, really, guys. I don't have a whole lot to say. A lot more to say. Feel free to chat, mate. Chat among yourselves here. Ask questions. Go for it. Yeah, truthfully, start you rolling into the river too. Yeah, I'd say so. I think maybe it hit that and then spun and dropped the car and stopped it there where I stopped. Said, like, I remember the rolling. I don't remember getting that high. Turk 320, how you doing, bud? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. Obviously, I've got no car. Well, I do have a car. I can't drive it. Got my other car. So for those who don't know, prior to me four-wheel driving, I was into the Japanese import scene a fair bit. So I run another page called Black Raven Motorsport. I don't really do a lot on it these days. I do have a YouTube channel which has a few little videos here and there on the car and track days and stuff. Yeah, that channel there, I might need to do something with that while I'm waiting to get a car for this and start filming again. Obviously, yeah, that might be my other option. But yeah, I've got a Toyota Chaser. I've had it for 10 years. It sits in the shed most of the time. So, and yeah, that might be my driver until I find another four-wheel drive as well. So, which isn't a bad thing. If I like having 23-pounder boost on tap, it's good fun. obviously do want to get another 4-wheel drive, enjoy the outdoors and camping and get into those places that my Chaser can't get me. So, and the Chaser was kind of like an investment for me anyway, so probably sell it in another year and cash in on it as they have gone up in price. Does your 120 diesel, Mike? Alright, the other thing, guys, as well. So I had done one last mod, which took me about a month to get sorted because I had issues with it. So I ordered a Nomad valve body and torque converter lockup for the 90 series from Wholesale Automatic Transmissions. Had dramas with the first valve body I sent over, we won't go into that, which I still have that here. Which might be suitable for some of the 120 or 90 owners, depending on their transmission. So that's petrol, is it? Okay, there you go. 1GRFE. Good motor. So, yeah. So, first valve body wasn't right. So, I spoke to Rocket Rod over at Wholesales and he agreed that, he goes, you know what, you weren't to know that the transmissions were different that one came out of. So, I had to take my car off the road, which I didn't want to do, and send him over my valve body, did all that, got it back, put it in, had all forward gears and no reverse. I'm like, righto. Drained all the fluid. First thing was I couldn't select gears because I didn't select something properly. Sheree, how you doing? You sent out how to chat. There you go. How you going? So yeah, first thing I couldn't select gears, so I had to drain all the fluid again, pull the valve body out, made sure that the detent rod was hooked up properly, which it wasn't. That was my own fault. Put it back in, had all gears except reverse. Pulled it out, checked it, put it back in, still no reverse. So then I called Wholesales and they're like, oh, that's weird. Send it back. So I sent it back. They pulled it down, sent it back to me, and they goes, nothing wrong with it. Like, okay, that's weird. So I put it back in, still no reverse gear. Yeah, so I was scratching my head and like, what's going on? So I called the local transmission place and he goes, sounds like it's a valve body control issue. Because that's what I thought it was with Wholesales. So he goes, put it in first, like in low, and drive it down and take your foot off, see if you've got any engine braking. And as soon as I did that, I had no engine braking. It just dropped back to like no revs and the car kept rolling. So I called Wholesales and like, oh yeah, oil pipe can go in 2 separate ways, which they never told me and wasn't in their instructions. So their instructions they're rewriting now, I believe. So yeah, changed that over, had all my gears, had torque converter lockup wired in, it was all working, and then I never got to test it. So that's still in the car. In the car, $1,800 modification, which I didn't have on my insurance policy and I can't claim. But that sucks. That is what it is. Yeah, I'm doing alright, Sheree. It's just awkward sleeping at the moment. The pain's not so bad. I can't straighten my arm properly because of the surgery at the moment. So I can't get full extension from my elbow. But that's because of the way they've attached the tendons together. So yeah. Surgery was an interesting one. Don't know how long I was under for. But I had what I call a Hill-Sachs lesion. So my shoulder dislocated forward, where most people's dislocate backwards. And because of that, I put a dent in my humerus and I knocked the shape of my glenoid, which is what your shoulder slots into. I'd locked that out of shape. I put a big dent in it. So there was no way that my shoulder was going to remain in its socket without surgery. So yeah, I was reading my post-op notes just before. So they went in, got down to my biceps tendon, separated my scapularis from it, tied that to my biceps tendon, put an anchor in somewhere so it all holds it in place. So I had to make a bed of bleeding bone to get it to reattach itself once it heals. And then on the actual shoulder itself, because I chipped the bone as well, they had to run a couple of wires across and whack a couple of screws in just to get it to reform that bone so it stays all intact. Southern Sun 4-wheel drive. Hey man, you missed a few questions. Was the operation done in Vic? Then you had to make your way home. Yes, it was. So the operation was done in the Wangaratta Hospital. I'm covered by the Traffic Accident Commission because it was a road traffic accident. So all my surgery costs are paid through the TAC in Vic, which I didn't know existed. I thought I was up for hundreds of dollars of bills. Lagging? Shouldn't be lagging here, mate. Is it lagging, is it? Well, I haven't dropped any frames or anything, man. I'm using hardly any processing power, so could be your internet. Maybe. So yeah, operation was done in Vic in the hospital. But yeah, I had a dislocated shoulder from the day of the accident till the Friday. So I was dosed up on painkillers like every 4 to 6 hours. It's pretty high. I was sleeping a lot, watching TV and chatting to the people next to me. Made some good hospital mates. Because there was like 3 of us were in there for the longest time. Hospital was overcrowded. I was in the daycare unit. Yeah. Food was good, surprisingly, for hospital food. Actually, I was enjoying it. So, audio stream's current bitrate is lower than recommended bitrate. Using an audio stream bitrate of 128 kilogram. Hold on a minute, let me have a look. What's going on here? So it's an audio issue, is there? Alright, give me a sec, guys. Let me fix this one. I might need to stop the stream to do that, though. Is it alright, guys? Like, is the audio fine, or has it kind of been a bit weird? Let me know, because I've never streamed on YouTube before, so any feedback would be great. Sample rate output. Audio is 120. Well, no, audio rate is 160. Should be right. You're saying use 128. Oh, well, we'll use 128. All good there? Okay. No, Turk, mate, must be your internet, buddy. I've just changed the audio there anyway. Hopefully that stops my messages popping up from my stream health here. So, all good? Things fine? Alright, cool. No worries. I just changed the audio bitrate for you, man. Maybe that'll fix it. Seems okay? Alright, awesome. Thanks, guys. I used to be a Twitch streamer back in the day, so I've still got my streaming set up, so that's why I can do all this. So, yeah, so I had to make my way back home. So what happened was, mate of mine that I hadn't spoken to in about 3 years called me out of the blue, and he's like, "I'm coming to get you." So he drove all the way from Adelaide in his car. I paid for all the accommodation. There we are. Stream health's excellent now. All right, cool. So yeah, he paid for, I paid for all the accommodation for us. We stayed at the Greenvale Holiday Apartments in Mansfield after he picked me up from Wangaratta Hospital. So he drove straight through. It was like 10 hours, something like that, from Adelaide through to Wangaratta. Picked me up, drove us another hour back to Mansfield, had accommodation there. Had to wait for the Monday for the car to be recovered. By that time, the looters had gotten to it and started taking stuff out of it. Because they'd been down there a week by that time. It was down a fair way. So, then yeah, what happened from there? And from there, obviously, the Tuesday I went and got all my gear out. Took us, but not one door in the car could be opened. So drivers, passenger door, rear doors, they're all jammed shut. You'll see pictures soon. But yeah, the left-hand slider was actually bent up and had both the front doors on the left-hand side. Front and rear door on the left-hand side were actually jammed shut. And the back door, because of the impact from the rolling, it just crushed everything together. Couldn't open the back door either. Audio's coming on and off for you. Could be my filter. Give me a sec here, bud. Might be able to fix this for you. Maybe. Let me try something. I'll disable this. Alright. If that's any better, then let me know. Looters, yeah, man. So, as I was saying to the other guys, or everyone else here, they grabbed my swag and my stretcher. But my stretcher had the tensioning poles and the bag still in the car. So they grabbed the stretcher that they can't use. I'm not going to be able to do anything with it. If it's not torn, there's no way of them to get poles unless they order them from OzTrax themselves. It was just an OzTrax King Goanna stretcher at the time, I think, from memory. Had it a while. Yeah, that's it there. So, you know, is what it is, but not much I can really do about it as such. So. Now, Nathan, come on, man. Yeah, so get back to the story of my mate. So yeah, he drove over. We grabbed all the gear out of it. Took a big jemmy bar. How long? 6 foot pry bar, maybe. One of those big bastards to get the back door open. Took us about half an hour. Everything was still in my drawers. All my tools, all my solar blanket, my camp oven, everything was still in there because no one could be able to get into the car. No matter what you could do. So I managed to recover most of my gear, so and all my electronics and everything. So that was alright. Yeah, obviously other things like UHF and whatnot, nah, no go. No go on those. UHF antenna was snapped. Yeah, she's pretty nasty. Not straight at all. So, hey Sean, how you doing, bud? Hi guys. When you're up to it, your son Joshua. Here you go. Oh yeah, Josh. Yeah, I know Josh. Need a shotgun passenger to get you back on the tracks. Oh, maybe we'll see. At the moment, I've got to focus on myself, man. I'll be out for at least 3 months. So, I know Josh. I'll give Josh a lot of advice over messages. So, we'll see. I might take him out. Depends what I get though. Like I said, like it could be 6 months before I have another car. I just don't know. Depends what pops up and when I have money. At the end of the day, unfortunately. Yeah, so the only things that were recoverable on that vehicle were the winch and the bash plates and maybe the upper control arms. Everything else was destroyed. Oh, and the spotties, if they still worked. I don't know, everything else was destroyed. No way I could get the bonnet open. So yeah, the intervolt unit's still in the car. Torque converter lockup's still in there. I know insurance are talking about sending it off to auction. So if you guys are looking for parts and you want to buy a wreck, man, keep your eye out for it. I don't know where it's going though. Yeah, new suspension's destroyed. Rear springs ended up almost down by the river from memory. Rear axle's all twisted, so snapped all the upper arms. I'd expect the rear shocks to be bent shafts. I don't know about the fronts, so whole thing totaled. It's a 3.5 grand suspension setup as well, and it was all custom. So anyone in Australia with a Dobinson's remote res setup in it. Yeah, got to fix myself first, man. Hard enough trying to freaking get to sleep. That kind of sucks, but you know. But I will be back out at some point, and yeah, definitely I'll be doing a redemption to the high country for sure. I want some content. I want to see that snow again. Haven't seen it, so that's kind of a bummer. That was, you know, my point was I'm excited. I'm going to go out and I'm going to camp in the snow for a night. That's what I wanted to do, and check out the huts. And so I checked out one hut on my way through, which was Fry's hut. So I have a little bit of footage from the day, and then the footage from when I picked up the camera and said I can't move my shoulder and I've just rolled my car. That'll go on YouTube at some point. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I reckon I might call it for now. If you guys want me to do more live streams, man, let me know. Don't know what I can really do on them except talk at the moment, but you know what I'm thinking of doing. I might maybe put together the Sunday trip, and I might do that as a live premiere, and I'll be in the chat if you guys want to see that. So obviously this aspect ratio is filmed in 4:3 ratio, not 16:9 for some reason. I don't know why. Must have pressed the wrong button on the GoPro. So I was watching it, I'm like, why is it in the square box, not to the screen? But quality might not be that great, but you know, at least it'll give you something to watch. So but you know, I can do regular updates on my shoulder and whatever if you guys want to see that. I can do regular videos, any pictures. I have pictures, but I'm not putting them up yet. They are on my phone. But I want to get my insurance and everything sorted out first. And go from there. It's not real pictures I really want to keep, but you know, I don't know if you follow my Instagram, I've got my final pictures from that morning up there of the car prior to getting wiped out. Yeah, that's probably about all I got at the moment, so. Alright guys, I'm going to dip out. It's been almost an hour. Shit, I can talk. Anyway, take care. Thanks for stopping by, guys, and chatting with me. Ends my boredom a little bit, so I really can't do anything except sit here and watch YouTube and watch other people four-wheel drive, which kind of sucks. But, you know, is what it is, unfortunately. But yeah, as soon as my insurance is through, yeah, I'll do another live stream anyway, and yeah, I'll go through the pictures with you guys if you like. So. Oh, thanks, Southern Sun. Yeah, man, 2.5 years to build, 10 seconds to destroy. So, it's the way life goes sometimes, hey? So, alright, thanks for stopping by, Mike. Tyson, thanks for stopping by, bud. Lurker, Cherie, Sean, Nathan, who else we got in here? I think that's all that made themselves available. And Anthony, of course, mate. We'll catch up at some point, so you want more live stuff? Alright, cool, I can do more live stuff, so we'll work something out. So, alright guys, have a good one, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.